everybody, and welcome back to my channel. So with summer coming up pretty soon here, I thought that it would be a great time to talk about my personal thoughts and opinions on modesty of dress while in circumstances where people are swimming at the pool, at the beach, places like that. Let me be clear, these are my personal thoughts on this topic that I know can be a heated one. And I'm not here to judge anybody. I just want to present why I think the things that I think and maybe give you a different perspective on them, because we hear a lot from people who just will say, men shouldn't look at women as objects, that's on the men. Why is everybody consumed with this? And so I just wanted to present a few thoughts that I had that may be of help to you in some way or just to get you thinking. Let's begin with male modesty. This is something rarely talked about, and I think that that is what works people up so much, that we often focus on modesty for women, but not for men. So for me, not only am I married, so I have a husband, but I also have 2 boys. So I'm in a position where I have to be thinking, what are our family standards when it comes to modesty for our boys? So reflecting back here, before marrying my husband, I think there were only 1 or 2 circumstances where we were even at a pool. And during those times, I noticed that he wore a shirt into the pool. And that was the first time I had ever experienced a man wearing a shirt into the pool who was not overweight. I say that not to offend anybody or bring attention to weight, but I think that there's this misconception that men need to cover their body if they're overweight, but if they have this nice ripped bod, they're fine to flaunt it wherever they want. And to me, that doesn't show modesty or decency or integrity. So anyway, looking at my husband, I know he's a guy who is fit, he's active, and he was wearing a shirt. So out of anybody at this place, he was one who could have so easily had a shirt off. Nobody would have thought a thing of it. But he didn't, because he set that standard for himself. And that showed me a lot about his character. And so then we really didn't discuss it, but I noticed it in him. And then as we got married, we've been to the pool several times on a couple vacations and different events. And he wears a shirt, and I absolutely love that about him. It warms my heart. It makes me so happy that not only does he value himself and his body, to not just take off his shirt wherever he goes, but I also don't really want other women looking at my husband's body. You know, I want him to be able to interact in the world with people and have good friendships and things, but people don't need to be looking at my husband's body. I'm sorry, but they don't. So at the pool or the gym, there's always going to be occasions to take your shirt off. And our culture tells us that that's acceptable, that's decent, it's okay if it's a guy, but it's not for a woman. And I do think that that is a double standard. Although I do think there is a difference, I do think that it's important to uphold standards for men too. So even things like deep V-necks, sometimes men will do that, and it's bringing that attention down from their face to their chest hair. And I just don't want my husband or my boys drawing attention to those parts of themselves. And I know what people are thinking. They're thinking, well, but it gets so hot outside. Why can't they take off their shirt? And you know what? You can use your best judgment on when it really is so super hot that is a necessary thing to do. But if you're in the pool, you have a water repellent swim shirt on. It also prevents you from getting sunburnt, by the way. Practical mom tip there. And you use less sunscreen. And a lot of people will argue, but it's more comfortable for a man to just take off his shirt on super hot days or at the pool. And I would challenge you that the world isn't about your comfort. You were made for more than just being comfortable. And so I think sometimes we have to deal with something that maybe isn't the most comfortable thing, simply because it's the right thing to do and that it honors our bodies in a better way. So I realize not everybody will agree with that. Okay, that's fine, but that's what my family is choosing to do. That's what I believe is best and a more wholesome, modest way for men to be in different situations. All right, now on to the women. So you've heard a lot of these things before about the dignity of women, the fact that men's brains work differently than ours. Sorry, that's just how it is. And so I think it is our responsibility to be aware of that. And now, in a world where it's not even just men you have to worry about, now we have to worry about women getting weird ideas, looking at us. You know, we have to be extra on our guard, in my opinion, about our way of dress and what we're wearing. I am not the perfect example of modesty in dress. I have failed so many times. I have been confused about it so many times. I have worn things out of convenience many, many times. So this is just me sharing some thoughts that I'm having on my modesty journey. So I want to be clear about that. Let me start by sharing where I'm at right now regarding females in swimsuits in public. I think that the midriff should be covered, the cleavage areas should be covered, and then also the upper thigh should be covered. So what I like to wear is a one-piece bathing suit, and then in addition to that have a swim skirt. And to me, that ensures all of the most intimate parts of myself are covered from people looking at me, and then even that upper thigh area. Yeah, it's not the most scandalous place in the world, but it's nice to just have that extra coverage there. So that's kind of where I'm at with that. And I think women are fooled into thinking just because a bathing suit is one piece that it is therefore magically conservative and modest, and oftentimes it is not, especially as I've been looking for some. Usually the back dips down very low, so the whole back area is exposed, and then also on the sides, you know, you can just see so much. I thought it might be helpful to show you some visual inspiration of some ideas on tasteful yet modest, stylish bathing suits that can be worn, but I didn't want to violate any copyright policies, so I decided I will link them below in the description box for you to check out if you are interested. Talk to you soon. Bye.